And one, we are live. All right, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
It is Winning Women's Wednesday here at
Well said.
studioUSA. And I am Rick, and I have with me my fabulous co-pilot, Michelle.
Good morning, everybody.
And we have the fabulous Sarah Parker-Jones.
Hi, guys.
I always want to say, everybody, how many times do you get Sarah Jessica Parker-Jones?
All the time. I'm like, call me whatever, just call me.
Yeah,
Right on.
right. And where do we call you at?
Oh, at 972-841-9010.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Benchmark Mortgage. Benchmark Mortgage. Yes, perfect.
Yeah, Home
perfect.
Loans by Sarah at Benchmark Mortgage.
She's amazing. Amazing and
Yes.
so much fun.
Yes, she is amazing. And a little fun fact, Sarah and I actually went through TRLP Leadership Academy together.
Yes.
We did. Class
Yes.
26.
26, best class ever, right? Yes. All right.
For people who don't know, what is that?
It is, the short answer would be, the way I would explain it to everybody is that it is the sorority / fraternity of real estate
Nice.
and the sort of tangential businesses.
Okay.
And so it literally is 25 people. You got to go through the selection process or whatever, and it's a little pack of varied and sundry agents, affiliates, etc., that they put together, and then you are not only run through the ringer to get in, then you have to block out one Friday a month where it is literally you go radio silent and you are together all day in a bus.
Oh, yeah.
Going to various, and it starts with ropes day. It's so cool, and it sounds so like cornball and kind of like what? So you do all these like, team building things or whatever. But the cool thing is, whenever you do actually do the days, they split it up to where you're broken up into teams.
Okay.
And then each team is responsible for one day. So each team has to plan the activities and formulate, and it's thematic. There's government day, there's public service day, there's stuff like that.
Arts Day, the
Arts,
best
oh
day.
yes, Arts Day. I did government. My team had government day, which we actually managed it to
Fun.
make it not suck.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
They
cool,
made it
cool.
so much fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love it.
And we did cool stuff too, where we went back.
Is there a hazing day?
No. I actually.
Closest to that would be Ropes Day.
Yes, yeah, it's day one,
Okay.
and day one it's like in the middle of the summer, and we did it ropes outside, and it was something else. We had some folks that were flagging, and so it's like you right out of the gate you build this sort of bond just by virtue of like, oh my God, we just went through that bullshit ropes thing or whatever.
Nice. Nice. I
And
love
people's
that,
real
though.
personalities come out, which
Oh,
is
yeah.
amazing. Like the
No doubt.
people who are like extreme leaders who are like, I'm going to take charge. And
Disc, yeah, there's a lot of disc assessment stuff
yeah.
going on. Yeah.
Yes.
And the
Yes.
funny thing is, so it would be like your social credit score per se, where you have your personality colors, like red, yellow, and green and blue.
Okay.
And it's the disc profile,
Right.
color coded, and you wear these laminates that have, so it's almost like a warning sign. Because I'm
Okay, that's really cool.
Yeah, 'cause
I
I'm-
feel like I need to come with that everywhere
dude.
I go.
And it's so cool because then you realize like, oh, it's not that, you don't understand what I'm saying. You process it a totally different way.
Yes.
Which is actually how we got to this.
Yeah.
As far as like, my joke was my ex-wives would say that I don't know shit about women. So like, boom, here we are.
We're teaching
And
them.
Yes. So this is my education and edification. So
Absolutely.
here we are.
Where's our quote? What's our
Oh my God.
I know we've done this twice now. We just get off on a topic. It's so fun.
Yes. But I'll let you guys do a little
What was
intro
your
though.
favorite part about the TRLP?
What wasn't? I loved it. I love getting to know so many different people, and you can have so many different outlooks on life
Yeah.
and be so successful in real estate
Yes.
in whatever facet that is.
Yes.
You have kind of like the quiet,
Yeah.
person who sits in the back, but like killing it in real estate.
Yeah.
And then you have like the class clown it's just really amazing to see everybody's different outlook and perspective on how they can become successful and utilize their like personality and
Absolutely.
how it's just,
Absolutely. This is a business where anyone can be successful if
Yeah.
they put in the work and utilize the right tools.
Yep.
It's
And
awesome.
I met so many amazing people. Like
I love that.
Yeah.
Love that. And you're still friends with them,
I am.
which is cool.
I mean,
so cool.
I see Rick probably the most.
And you are with Benchmark Mortgage.
Yes, I am. Yep.
Tell us a little something special about some products you have at Benchmark.
So at Benchmark, I mean, everything pretty much under the sun, right? When it comes to actual residential real estate. I would say what stands out with Benchmark itself is we have a really huge veteran mission. So
Love that.
Benchmark has their own 503c,
Okay.
and called the Valor Project, where they sponsor different veterans and pay for their medical for a full year.
Amazing.
So
That's awesome.
brain
Yeah.
treatment, PTSD, any doctor, anything under the sun that they need, we take care of them and sponsor them for a full year.
I love that.
And
That's
we save a
amazing.
lot of veterans' lives. And they do a lot for veterans as far as like mortgages go. Every veteran gets their own like special closing package. So we have I have a special place for veterans in my heart. You know, my dad was a veteran, my
Yeah.
grandfather,
Love
Same.
that.
you know, and I know so many amazing people. And so I love that passion project that a Benchmark has. And then as far as where I stand out is, you know, I've kind of gotten a good name for like being able to close condos that people can't get done.
Woo, those condos. Woo, those condos. Girl.
So, yes. So I do a lot of that. And of course, I love my normal conventional FHA, VA, and all that good stuff. But I also work with a lot of self-employed buyers who
That's a tough
can't
one.
qualify with a traditional loan. So we have
Especially
a wonderful,
right now. I'm
yeah.
assuming that's a tough one.
This year, I've done so many bank statement loans
Yeah.
or, you know, non-traditional bank, you know,
That's awesome.
1099 loans, things like that. And it has really, like, I mean, I'm helping people buy anywhere from their first home to their, you know, dream home in Highland Park.
Love
and it's been amazing. So
I used to joke as a mortgage guy in a previous life. I always used to joke. It's like,
He's
okay,
done everything. It's
he
the best.
has.
you can either get a deal and not pay fully on your taxes, or you can borrow money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, you know, you get to pick, you know, because it would always be that thing where they'd come back and be like, well, I make more than that, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, okay, well, did you tell the government that?
Did you pay the government?
Exactly.
Like you made
and
that
it's
much money?
basically
'Cause you
like,
didn't.
and it's like, there's nothing wrong with having a badass CPA
Right.
that can do all of the things and actually get you out from under a lot of the stuff. But the flip side of that is, well, I can't verify it.
Yeah.
You know?
You made 10 grand last year. You cannot buy a house in Highland Park.
Exactly. And so when I tell people, here's what would you have to do on your taxes, or how much would you have to pay the IRS in order to qualify for the home that you'd want,
That's good.
right? Okay, yeah, you're going to have to put more money down. Okay, yeah, your interest rate's going to be higher, but guess what? It's tax deductible,
Yeah.
right? So, you know, when it comes down to it, it's like pick your battles. Like, what's more
Yes.
important, right?
Love it. What do you have for us?
So, okay. So the difference between successful people and others is how long they spend time feeling sorry for themselves.
Ooh.
And that's from Barbara Corcoran.
Ooh.
Love her.
She is amazing.
Right.
Love
Spin
her.
facts.
That's a good one.
And so I was just saying
man.
earlier so it's so funny. This is timely in that. So yesterday, shooting $1 million listing for this gal at Ebby, and I show up, and so now I bring like my main man Cruz with me, and he's 29 years younger than me, and I'm like fired up right now for selling season. I'm like, oh my God, we just had the best month ever, and it isn't even kicked off yet.
Right?
And
We're just getting
I'm
started.
I'm with him. I'm like, hey dude, are you ready? Are you ready to go? And I said, plan on not catching your breath until Halloween.
Yeah.
And he's like,
And then he had a flat tire.
Oh, no.
We love you, Cruz.
yes, we are all pulling for you. Yes.
Good luck. Good luck.
Yes, but I will send AAA. I will not be the guy out there
No.
with a jack at
No, thank you.
10 o'clock at night.
So how does that question resonate for you? Or that quote, I guess. It wasn't really a question.
Yeah, I mean, everybody has moments where they feel sorry for themselves,
Yeah.
and they're like, ugh, you know, or whatever's going on in their life, right? I can even, Monday, for instance, it was the anniversary of my mom passing, right?
Yeah.
She passed away 3 years ago, unexpectedly, and it crushed me when that happened. And, you know, but at the end of the day, I have a team that I'm responsible for. I have agents who depend on me. My family depends on me.
Yeah.
Bills don't get paid if we don't work, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So, you know, you take a beat. I took the morning
Yeah.
and had some time to myself, and you know what? Then I got to get to work,
Yeah.
right?
And that's the cool part where I think we can be different is you got to recognize that you need the time and you take the time and you say, okay, this is, I'm giving, theoretically, I'm going to take these 2 or 3 hours and then I'm going to suck it up and move on.
Yeah.
Like it is what it is.
I have sort of the reaction where I was raised in like the John Wayne school
Yes.
of you just stuff it down, you know.
Oh, same. And I'm getting better as I get older.
When she said that hit me because my mom died like 3 years ago too, and I have these surreal moments where it'll hit me in the weirdest ways. I'll be at a red light and I'll be like, "Holy shit, my mom's dead," you know.
Yeah.
And
Relatable.
Yeah.
you know, and it's just that weird thing where I'm doing, 73 other things, and then all of a sudden that hits me like this real life thing
Yeah.
that clearly I probably haven't processed nearly enough or on any level probably. But that whole feeling sorry for yourself thing, it's like I lived a very long period of time where with addiction and all of the other things that are sort of attached to that, it's the snake eating its tail, where
Yeah.
it just keeps going and one begat the other. It's like,
Did you see the snake that crossed my path
I
yesterday?
did.
I did.
What was that?
It was a copperhead. Everyone was texting me, and I'm like, it's okay, guys, because I can jump high and scream. And that's exactly what I did.
Well, okay, that's one. It was big,
It was very big.
poisonous. So like those two things together,
Yeah.
as far as snakes go,
Out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No
Out.
thanks.
Hard pass.
Yeah. Yeah. Hard pass.
Be finding another trail for the next few weeks, guys.
Well, kudos to you for getting out and like there. It's like, oh, that sounds like a thing I should do. But I am self-aware enough now to know that no, I will never be that guy.
But that's how I process things. Like if I've had, and we kind of talked about this with Wayne last week, is there's getting out and there's exercising. And so I go to the gym and I get my workout in 3 to 5 days a week. But when I just need to mentally process, that's how I do that. It's let me get out. It's been a hard day. I know I'm going to have a hard day. Let me take this time to reset.
Is that the walking?
The walking, just
Oh my
getting out and
gosh.
just walking. Like,
I started walking last year, and it was the best thing I did for my mental health.
yeah,
just-
it's so good. It's so good.
And I love how like now in the 21st century, I started walking. It's like, I love it.
How
Brand new.
revolutionary.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and but like there's like this thing where we get like ate up with just the ding dong stuff in everyday life. Then it's like, oh yeah, walking. Oh yeah, I remember that. Well, and every once in a while, I will drive past somebody riding a bike and be like, oh man, I used to love riding a bike. Then I drive.
Yeah, and then when we just stopped.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
And getting sunlight, like just being outside, being
The
in the
fresh
sun,
air, yeah.
it's game changing. I mean, it's not the same walking on a treadmill or
No.
riding a stationary
No.
bike inside. You got to be outside.
for sure. For sure.
I am super grateful that aside from like right now we're in the Batcave, which I love, and I love the
awesome.
fact that this is completely shut off from the universe or whatever. However, the bulk of what I do is out on location, and it's so funny to be forced into that and then realize after you're forced, it's like, oh, I actually kind of like this. And so I had not been shooting as much me personally until Jennifer had her baby like 10 days ago. And so it was like, uh-oh, it's like we have a new team member, but it's newborn.
yeah.
So
it
they're,
can't.
yeah.
It
so
hasn't been trained yet.
so I
Well, he
basically
needs to get on it.
yeah right
Come
get that
on.
kid a camera.
Seriously.
10 days? What is he doing?
But it's so crazy to have been
Kids are so
back
lazy
out
these
in.
days.
Yeah, exactly. This generation.
So entitled.
Well, speaking of, and congrats to you on the daughter and the
Thank you.
Broadway and
Thank
the
you.
Tony
Thank you.
nomination and all
Yes.
that.
Tony nominated for Illinois. I'm super excited. Yep. Caitlin is a costume designer and she is doing all the things, living her best life in New York City.
When is the Good Morning America? Do you know?
Don't know yet. Don't know yet.
So that'll be posted.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Check it out. Check out the show. Check out the album, Illinois. So yeah. Thanks for bringing that up. I appreciate
Absolutely.
it.
Well, and it's so cool to see stuff like that where, I sometimes get it all backwards in my mind. Did I like music first or did I like the partying? And then, the fact that they went together was nice.
Right.
And and then one just overtakes everything. And then it became like, well, as long as I have the accessories, I don't really need to play that much.
Yeah.
And
You've learned.
Yes.
You've adapted.
Well, and now it took me like 5 years into sobriety to actually
Yeah.
get back into playing guitar because I would associate the two.
The trigger. Yeah. Absolutely.
But like where it's like somebody actually it's one thing to have the dream
Yeah.
and then like do some stuff or like, oh yeah, and then you can kind of just, feel sorry for yourself and go like,
Yeah.
oh, I was close. I was doing it there for a minute, but then XYZ versus just busting your ass.
Doing the work.
And then
Yeah.
actually having, because what the thing is, it's like everybody says like, oh, the waitress in Hollywood or whatever, blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, yes, statistically that won't work, but every once in a while it does.
It does, yeah. She only had to wait tables for like 2 weeks. She was really bad at it, so it's a good thing this worked out. So, okay, first question. Sarah, makeup and mortgages.
Yes.
Why makeup and mortgages? I love it. That's
Which is
her
your
tagline.
Instagram. Yeah, that's her Instagram
My
handle.
Instagram is makeup and mortgages. So I love doing makeup. I'm a girly girl.
I love that.
I grew up with all boys.
Ah, okay.
And I mean, I'm pretty, like, I love sports. I watch football. I'm a huge F1 fan. Like,
Wow.
That's unusual.
But,
okay,
like,
that's cool.
I present really, like, feminine.
Yes,
Like,
I love
love
it.
to, like, I love to do my hair. I love to do my makeup. So I just was looking, Home Loans by Sarah has been, like, my website, all the things, and I wanted to figure out something different. And so I was like, well, I love makeup and I love doing mortgages. So, and I just was like, oh, that would be cute. And so I was like,
love it.
I'm going to try it. And then that was my handle. And
Well, your makeup looks great.
thank you.
So what's your favorite skincare line?
Oh, that's hard because
There's so many.
It's
And
not-
the packaging, Rick is like, I'm out.
So I'm not like die hard on one specific thing.
Okay.
Like, I think our skin texture changes as we, age or what kind of weather there is, so I'm constantly changing like
Okay.
what is working for me right now. I've really gotten into Korean skincare.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh,
yes.
it's the best.
The best.
Like, I got this new like collagen mask that you like sleep in all night and then you wake
Husbands
up.
love that.
Oh my God, it's
So what's the prep time on something like that? Because like this is what it gets down to me, where it's like, okay, so are we coming in, approaching the runway at like 8:45 and we'll be in bed at 10 or
well. See, I'm a night person. Like,
Good to know.
yeah, so I enjoy that time, like the wind down time. I mean, there's some days I can get ready for bed in 5 minutes, and there's some days where I want to like take my time and I'll do my steamer and it just depends on the day, right? So
Love
I'm not
this.
like,
okay, because I have the image of my grandmother. So Betty Davis was my grandmother.
that
not that,
name.
yeah,
So
not that, yeah.
sweet.
But as a kid, the song was be all over on.
Yes.
Wow, okay,
That's awesome.
But she was like, if you took stereotypical 1950s gal with the stand-up hair, the super put together makeup. I mean, there was a process to this. And I remember being a little kid and like that we might be circling the airport for an hour and a half before it was even time
Yeah.
to approach the runway and
Yeah.
to be like, wow. And the other thing was she would not leave the house without the full
ooh, yeah.
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 It'd be like Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley in like 1978 not leaving the house without their
That's
gimmicks.
awesome.
But in today's world, it's kind of that, but a little bit more because I'm sure the stuff she was putting on was like Dow Chemical,
yeah.
this like slathering on like radioactive whatever.
Asbestos.
Yeah, exactly. But so like on average, what is the prep time?
Well, my skincare probably 10 minutes.
Okay,
That's not horrible,
acceptable.
but then I have days where I do more. But like my day to day, no more than 10 minutes. I mean, I do certain high maintenance things like less often to be low maintenance, if
I
that
love
makes
that.
sense.
I like
I love
that.
that. Yeah.
Right? So you get facials.
So
You
that, is that
take
the
the time-
laser?
You laser microneedling. I do microneedling myself at home.
What does that do?
Ooh, that's
Oh,
fancy.
it like, just pokes your skin, creates a whole bunch of little micro holes, and then you rub in, your retinol or your
We need
serums
a
or whatever the
demo.
case is.
You know,
Well, 'cause it's
live
like,
demo.
And it
I'm over
helps
here like,
you
dude,
generate-
I've been like tanning and just eating like shit for
Oh.
100 years. And so it's like,
I
I don't
avoid
look a day
tanning.
over, I don't look a day over 107. So
Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
I love to be in the sun, but I don't want it touching my face.
Wow,
Right? So
okay.
hat, sunscreen.
See, I'm with you.
As much as I can preserve and keep the sun off of me, the better.
Wow.
No, like-
Okay. Yeah, not me.
No, I love the sun. And the darker I get, it's like a badge of honor.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
and then like back in the day, I can remember a couple of my lady friends that are on high school, so they were teens, but it was like the 80s thing in Texas was you'd go out and you'd literally slather on baby
Baby oil.
and get the reflector, and
yeah.
you might as well just crawl in the microwave.
I think we call it a tanning bed.
The sun damage. When I was in high school, it was huge, like the tanning bed. And I like tried to do it and I was like, oh, I don't know. I don't really of course I did it some, but I didn't really like it.
I love it.
I love it.
I love it. And there's something about
I still do it.
I do too. I only do 7 minutes though.
Yeah.
So 7 minutes is like the threshold of where the UV actually does something. Mm-hmm. But there's also there is the vitamin D kick.
Yes.
That is real.
So real. Yeah.
Now you could get addicted to it and end up looking like a handbag or like an old pair of boots. But I keep that one in check. Although today I'm brassy, so I need my silver shampoo. So that was my one thing that I'm missing today.
I hear that's amazing.
Oh my God!
I mean, when I get them, I try to just cover them.
No,
up.
I leaned into it.
I love it. I will. I'm 35, so.
Oh yeah,
I've
yeah.
got
You got
some
it.
time.
Yeah, you got
You got a minute.
Yeah, you got a minute.
Yeah, I'm hoping that I have like my grandmother has like white hair.
Yes.
And I want that.
I want to go
But,
full
you don't get to
Gandalf
pick,
Yes.
myself.
so.
Yeah.
Yes. I love it. I
We'll
love
see.
it. Okay. Question. Share a pivotal moment in your career that has really shaped your journey.
A pivotal moment. So I would say it's hard. I'm a huge people pleaser.
That's a tough one.
Naturally.
Yeah.
I'm the
Yeah.
youngest. I'm the only girl. I was always the good girl. Thank goodness we had a girl. She's so easy, right? And so with that,
I never said that about my girls.
It perpetuates. Well, I think it's my brothers are boys. Like they are rough, tumble, getting in trouble, shooting BB guns, breaking windows, doors, you name it. Like
My people.
Yeah.
batting at, wasp nests, getting attacked. And so they kept my parents so just exhausted, you know?
Gotcha.
And I just was like, and it perpetuates wanting to be good and wanting to take I just want to be easy. I don't want to cause any trouble. I'll be easy. Not that I didn't push my boundaries, because I think I did, especially when it came to my brothers. Like I was not nice to them, but
Fair.
And overcoming that. So the first mortgage bank I was there for almost 8 years, and I was I became really unhappy. I started not loving what I did, and I just kept thinking, maybe this isn't for me. Maybe this career isn't for me. And I had I was like, maybe I need to go somewhere else. Maybe I just need to spread my wings. I'd been there since I was 22 years old. I got in the industry super young.
Wow.
And I'm like, maybe it's time for me to figure out, just go somewhere else to see. And, I talked to a couple of the leaders, and they were like, well, yeah, people leave, but they're not as successful anywhere else they go. You're great, but, really you should be here. And just kind of was trying to talk me out of it.
Yeah.
And I just, I looked up to them, and I was like, well, maybe I should stay. And it was like a year back and forth. And my gut was just like, you have to leave. You have to do something different,
Yeah.
And I did. And it was like the scariest thing. Like I thought the world was going to end. I was like, what? I don't know. And of course I made this decision, and I decided to leave and kind of figure this out on my own without the place I've been, without like mom and dad. Right.
Yeah.
And, when I did that, it was I fell in love with this industry again. I fell in love
That's
with what I
awesome.
did, and it wasn't, and my business doubled, tripled.
That's
right?
incredible.
And it
Because
wasn't,
you got to love what you do.
it was so important. It wasn't necessarily, and not to knock where I was or who I worked for. It was just, I think when you start somewhere so young,
Yeah.
and everybody's perception of you is like, you're the young one. Like
You're the rookie. You're the
rookie.
yeah,
And
you're
it's
the
like I
mascot.
couldn't, even though I'd worked my way up to become like the number 3 producer in my region, like it wasn't enough for them to see me as like a grown woman. They still.
Yeah, and it's not traditionally a female centric workplace.
And so, and I just got tired of being like, oh, poor Sarah, you'll figure it out one day. You're doing great.
Keep going.
It wasn't like, you're a badass. You can do this,
Yeah.
And
And
so
you needed that.
I did. And I needed it for myself, and I needed to prove that I could do it without them,
Yeah.
right? And thank God I did.
You did. Go,
And
girl.
I was so scary to, upset them, but I'm like, and it's been amazing ever since.
So would you say you're a people pleaser? Do you have that in you?
It's a difficult thing to assess because I have like pre-sobriety
Yeah.
and then post. And
I'm
so,
going to send you a quiz. We'll find out if you're
oh,
a
okay.
people pleaser.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would have said
love
that
So fun.
there was a part of the pre-sober life where you just want to be invisible so nobody finds out what you're actually doing.
Okay.
So there
that
would
makes
be
sense.
there would be this conflict avoidance thing where like whatever you said or whatever you asked, whatever you needed or whatever, I'm that, and then can I get out of here? Can I base? It was like this absolute avoidance of just being seen.
Okay.
You know, partly because if you see what I actually do on a daily basis, that is like super unhealthy and often illegal. That's just not
Different show.
Yeah. But like that's just not good for your actual, day-to-day perception by everybody.
Right,
So
right.
like, a lot of the perception management. So like inherently, I don't think I was a people pleaser.
Okay.
But I adapted that as a part of a skill set to further the
addiction.
addictive stuff.
Okay. And read the quote again from Barbara.
Yes. It was the feeling sorry
Yes.
for yourself. The difference between successful people and others is how long they spend feeling sorry for themselves.
Okay. Do we think as people pleasers, because I'm definitely a people pleaser, I'm getting much better at it, but do you think as a people pleaser, that's what keeps you from pulling the trigger and staying stuck longer as well?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I guarantee, just from the standpoint of having worked in the boiler rooms and in that world, there would be more than a few people running a mortgage. So if you're the number 3 producer in the region, and I'm the sales manager, or I'm the managing broker or whatever, I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna manipulate the bejesus out of Sarah because I don't want those numbers walking out the door.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know
need
that, and
those.
that's one of the things why a lot of times too in sales jobs, number 1 salesman doesn't get promoted because, well, then what? Now your numbers are gone.
Yeah.
I don't need you over here not selling.
Yeah.
I need you out there doing your thing. And the same would go there where it's like they would read, because any good manager in that environment is a good manipulator.
Absolutely.
And so it become this gaslighting extravaganza where I'm telling Sarah whatever she needs. Do you need more money? Do you need to work from home? Do you need whatever? Da 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 da. How about a couple more bips or whatever? Like just anything to get her to stay. And then whenever she does stay, I'm going to be mad no matter what. Because it has. And then the irony there is it has nothing to do with the person. It could be somebody that would be absolutely in love with you as a person, but the fact that you are pulling out whatever your percentage was of the production, because it's like I've got friends now where they go, oh my God, this guy, it's like my number 1 guy's gonna leave, and it's like he's representing 37% of our total production, and it's like, ooh, okay,
That's a problem.
Yeah, and then then the flip side of that is if you are the diva, I always production covers a multitude of sins.
Were you a diva?
No.
I can't see it.
Okay,
I don't
then
see it.
Rainmaker. Because I've been both. I've been both the Rainmaker and the diva.
No.
I think I played the diva role in another role, but then at this
Yeah.
place I was.
Oh, yeah, at 22,
100%.
yeah, at 22.
No, I had no cojones.
Yeah.
I just was like, just whatever. Please
Now,
tell me how can I be better? What can I do? How can I who I am, who I was then, and who I am today. I don't even know that.
So now I'm
girl.
curious. So
So
like,
tell me the difference.
I am not afraid to tell people what I want, what I need, and
Love
what
it.
it's going to take me to stay. I know what I bring to the table. And I
Yes.
know,
I love that.
like I've stepped into my power, you know what I mean? And I'm okay with who I am, and I know what I bring to the table, and I know how valuable I am. And learning that and becoming the person I am today and looking forward to who I will be tomorrow, a year from now, 5 years from now, I'm so excited, because there's a way to be kind, but to also know your worth.
100%.
And so that was something I learned. And it's
That's
like,
awesome.
I can ask for what I deserve and what I need, and also be kind and not be the diva.
I
per
love
se.
that.
Yeah.
I'm curious now from the female perspective. Were you or are you driven by numbers? It's like I understand there's the need to buy groceries and keep the lights
Sure.
on or whatever. But I know that whenever I was in my early 20s and I found out that I can actually sell and I'm good at it, and then all of a sudden it's quantifiable. and there was the daily, weekly, and monthly charts. And this is at Guitar Center. And back in the day, Guitar Center was the Shark Tank. It's not sort of like the Walmart of guitars, bass, and drums. It used to be full-on used car sales. No price tags, nothing. Privately owned company. You would come in and you say, like, how much is that black guitar? What are you looking to spend? Do you need an amp with that? And it was absolutely, we're taught in the old school used car salesman ways. We'd role play and stuff on Saturdays. And once I found out I was good at it, I absolutely lit it. Nothing else mattered. I just wanted to dunk on everybody numbers wise. So like, were you ever driven by that, or were you just?
No, I'm not a materialistic person. I mean, I love nice things, but I'm not like, it's something I look back and I'm like, oh my gosh, like that's awesome. But it's not something on a day-to-day I think about. I care about, like, my passion is people and serving people. And so when, people ask me like, if defining success, it's like, how many happy people
That's so good.
did I leave in my path?
Yeah,
Like,
I
how
didn't
many
have that
positive
circuit.
experiences did I leave behind? For me, that's what drives me and makes me happy. So like, it doesn't matter if you're, $100,000 loan or a $3 million loan. Like, I want you to be happy. I want to do everything I can to make, and my team to support you to have that success and to have a positive and happy experience. And I think
that makes you a great leader.
Yeah,
It does.
I think the monetary stuff is secondary for me.
Yeah.
I didn't grow up with much. I mean, there was times that, my success has created a lot of guilt and has caused, rips in my family. But I've worked a lot on that and being okay with that. And it's, their perception of who I am and what makes me me is not really that.
That's awesome.
And that's all I know is my truth. And I feel confident looking at myself in the mirror and saying, you know what, like, I'm a good person and I do good.
That's awesome. As a female in this industry, what advice would you give?
Well, when I was young, I started off in a call center. The very first job I had was a call center. I was an assistant. And
I think it's a rite of passage. You have to work in a call center at some point in your life.
Yeah.
Like,
that's a really
whatever
a great way
the
to cut your
industry.
teeth. Yeah.
Like, whatever the industry, you have to work in a call center.
You want to really learn the hard way.
To learn how bad you don't want to stay in the call center.
How many times can you
Yes.
get hung up on and still be like, I'm good at this.
Yes.
Right?
Keep calling. Keep calling.
Yeah, so that was an interesting time in my life. But as I grew within that, I think as a female, I was told, oh, you only get those good leads because you're messing around with the boss.
That's so awful.
I'm like, okay, you were so insecure about your volume versus mine, this 22-year-old, 23-year-old sitting next to you, and you can't handle it, so you have to minimize me to that. Nobody knows what I look like. I sit in a call center. My headshot isn't anywhere.
Yeah.
You hear my voice, if anything, in the financial world, as a 23-year-old, 22-year-old female, that is a disadvantage.
Absolutely.
How do you prove to a 50-year-old, businessman making, 7 figures that you know what you're doing and you are going to do what's right by him and his finances? Like, if anything, like, I had to work harder.
Overachieve.
Yeah.
To prove that and to become a top producer in that world.
So I'm just, was it a big bank call center?
It was an independent bank.
So were you doing outbound?
So we did some outbound. It was
That's
more
the
like warm
worst.
leads. But when we first started, it was more so like what we called consumer direct. So you sit there, you're licensed in multiple states. So I was licensed in 32 states. Any loan officer for that company who worked anywhere in the U.S., let's say, somebody in Indiana, they got a lead for a home. One of their clients wanted to buy a vacation home in North Carolina, right? They're not licensed in North Carolina, so they would say, hey, I'm going to send this lead over to Sarah in Consumer Direct. She's going to close the loan, and then there's a commission split, right?
Nice.
And you handle it from application
So
to
it
close.
wasn't just the abject terror of outbound calls.
It became that, and they became, like, of course, they started doing mailers,
Yeah.
right? And then
the
the people would
mailers.
call
Good
in.
times.
There'd be like warm leads,
And the mailer would go out, and then rates would just take a beating by the time the mail got there. and they're calling in, and then they're 31 flavors of pissed because the thing that you got that you sent them in the mail isn't valid.
Right, because you control the Fed.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
If
and
only.
It's like you realize that the mail takes a minute before from the time it's printed to the time it's delivered.
Yeah.
And you think you're the only one who got that piece of mail?
No, the phone is melting down right now. You're one of many.
Well, and, those mailers are based on an 800 credit score with 30% equity and blah, blah, blah. Well, when you call in with a 620 credit score, well...
Your rate's a little different.
And a DTI to the moon and every other thing that could go sideways.
And so you just have to redirect that conversation. And, you learn a lot.
You do.
Oh, yeah, you get thick skin for sure.
Oh,
yeah.
And then, like, again, you being a female in that universe, it was, I would venture to say it would either be you get a thick skin quickly or you skedaddle.
Yeah.
Because you would just crater. Because I have friends that are big corn-fed dudes, 6'2", 235 pounds, that they couldn't handle it. And I say it in that way because you would see them on the street and be like, wait a minute, you're upset because like somebody just reamed you out on the phone or whatever. And again, I'm the glutton for punishment or the goofball that I love that sort of thing. And so I loved the boiler room, and we were doing lowermybills.com leads.
Oh,
Where it's hard to
yes.
do. Oh my God, they were the worst.
Those are brutal.
And they were notoriously cheap as far as an institution that I worked for. So we got the
quality
stepped
is
on.
not-
Oh no, I'm like the 37th person that's called.
That's
You're
fantastic.
like, okay. Those people definitely didn't grow up with siblings who were mean to them.
No, and I was the oldest, so I have a younger sister. But so I didn't have any of that. So I just developed it there on the sales floor. And then one of the other ones that was I don't know how many CE classes you guys may have done, but it's like, man, everybody's so prim and proper and just so nice and just responsive in class. And then you get those review sheets and they just beat the hell out of you. And you're what? I'm like trying to figure out from the handwriting what lady was that? Who was that?
Oh, good stuff.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, I think it's time to wrap it up already.
Let's wrap.
So, okay, what do you have coming up? What's everybody got coming up in the next week or so?
Just more of
What are you
same.
excited about?
I'm excited. So like going back to the panel that will be released shortly that we
Can't
were
wait
on.
for that.
So there was this, the doom and gloom and the panic and whatever. And it's like, I am excited because selling season hasn't even started yet. And it is the busiest that I've ever been in my entire life. And then we got like cool stuff like this. So it's like I come to the toy box, and get to do stuff like this, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And then for it to go full circle or like go the long way around the barn where it's like Sarah and I, at Rope's Day or whatever, like what was that, 8 or 9 years ago?
It's crazy.
Yeah, and then
Crazy.
here we
I
are.
love it.
16.
We've survived.
Yeah.
Y'all survived. Yes. Well, I'm excited for the program that Alan talked about last week, my strategy session where you walk away with some action steps and I follow up with you in 10 days. So go to michelleozymy.com to get that scheduled. Super excited for that.
Awesome.
Sarah, what's up for you?
Well, if anybody's looking for a mortgage, please let me know. I'd love to help. Or if you're an agent in the industry and you want a business partner who's really going to help you strategize, keep you accountable, please let me know. I'd love to sit down and see how I can help you in your business.
And check out our panel once it gets released next week.
Yes.
It is a great source of information, agents. If you're a little nervous about the upcoming buyer's market, it's all going to be good. We're going to settle your little hearts on it. So
Agreed.
check it out.
Yes. Then we'll see everybody on Friday.
See you guys.
And Peter will take us out.